If the news reaching my table is anything to go by, then it appears that President Bola Tinubu has just fallen in love with Anambra State. That is the truth. You will recall that Tinubu was in Anambra for commissioning of some legacy projects by the governor himself, where he was given a chieftaincy title of DK Sinamba. I have already done a video on that. But that is not why we are here today. Why we are here is because there is a plan. There's an agreement between him and the governor of Anambra State for him to relocate to Anambra State after his retirement to come and live and reside in Anambra State, because according to his words, he is in love with Anambra State and is going to relocate there very, very soon. Watch this video.
I am now bona fide son of the soil, and your governor, Charles Soludo, should find me a plot of land for my retirement home. Give me a permanent abode. I'll say, it is well with Anambra. It is well with Nigeria. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Why this story interests me is because there has been a lot of the marketing the Southeast. There are a lot of media that goes around and they market the Southeast a lot, talking about how, crime and how unknown gunmen and how, backward and everything is going on there. But the president coming to Anambra, feeling very free, feeling very warm, feeling very relaxed and looking very, very accepted, given this title and coming out to make that speech shows that Anambra is open for business. Anambra is welcoming for anybody who wants to come to the state to do any form of business, leisure, pleasure. And the people of the Southeast, most importantly, are very welcoming, are very loving, are very nice, are very kind. That is the valid truth. So who said that there is insecurity in the Southeast? Who said that? The president himself, as used his home, has come down to the Southeast twice in the past few months. He was in Enugu the other day. Now he is in Anambra State. And I'm sure very soon he will be in Ebonyi or Abia or Imo State. Because definitely Imo and Ebonyi are even APC states. This kind of statement has a way of growing the economy of any state, because definitely there are people in the Southwest now that will hear that statement from president and also want to come with their investments to Anambra State. There are people in the north that will hear such a statement from the president. Also outside the country, there are people who heard that statement of the president endorsing a Southeast state, which is going to change a lot of perspective about people who say that the Southeast people do not sell land. The Southeast people do not sell property to outsiders. And the Southeast people do not open their doors to outsiders. This is going to put an end to most of those statements, because now the president is going to live in Anambra State. As he has said it, he will definitely do it. But this is an opportunity for me to still call upon the president to look into some cases of insecurity in the region, and also look into the case of Nnamdi Kanu, who is in the DSS dungeon and who is standing trial, to see if there will be a political solution, the same way Ojukwu was welcomed back from exile and integrated into the Nigerian economy. The same way you look into the case of Nnamdi Kanu and put an end to this trial, because the way it's going, it looks as if he has overstayed in that dungeon, and already he has even served many years as a prisoner in the dungeon. Also, as you are aware, the president has paid off the IMF loan. Yes, the loan that has been going on for many years, and it's been long. We heard a president pay off any loan whatsoever. So the president coming out to pay the loan shows that Nigeria is a very responsible country and we pay our debts.
Bring on the Nigeria's IMF deal. And that's what I was looking for. Thank you. That's the IMF refinancing facility that Nigeria took from the IMF on a request for that nearly 100% quota of Nigeria's special drawing rights with the IMF back in April 2020 when COVID-19 broke and Nigeria saw its finances down on all fours. As of today, Nigeria has no debt obligation to the International Monetary Fund.
So the president coming out to pay the loan shows that Nigeria is a very responsible country and we pay our debts. It also has a way of impacting in our economy because most of this money that we are supposed to use to provide roads, to provide schools in our streets, to provide schools, to provide infrastructure are being used to pay loans every year and every year. But now, as he has finally paid off this IMF loan, at least we could use those money to better the lives of Nigerian people. And remember that most of the money in our budget goes to paying loan servicing, loan debt. Every year in our budget, we have money specified for paying debts, paying loans, which is not supposed to be so. So now, President Tinubu has paid off the IMF loan that he's owing, and Nigeria is owing. Most of this money were inherited. So that is the truth. Because borrowing cannot save any country. Borrowing cannot save any country. That is why when people laugh, Peter Obi did not do anything in Anambra State. Peter Obi did not do anything. He only left money behind. At least Peter Obi is not owing. He never owed when he was a governor. At least Peter Obi did not owe. Peter Obi left the governorship position with surplus, an investment for Anambra State, of which Soludo is reaping the rewards of those investments that Peter Obi handed over to him. So debt, no matter how you build infrastructure, if you build it on astronomical debt, you will not even enjoy that infrastructure. Infrastructure is enjoyed when there is no debt in the economy, because now it is people who are still going to ply those roads. It is people who are still going to go to the schools. It is people who are still going to go to the hospitals. It is people who are still going to use those infrastructures that you use debts, to build. And if the people are not economically buoyant enough due to debt, how are they going to use the infrastructure? How? So that means an indebted country is an impoverished country. I know that there are still some other debts that we owe. I know there's Chinese debt. I know there are a lot of other debts. But this is a step in the right direction because IMF are the most stubborn debtors. They always want you to owe them, and they always want you to put your economy in the direction that they desire. They want to always influence the way your economy moves. So it's a very good one that President Tinubu saw, that if I don't pay these IMF people, I will never be independent of myself, because IMF are a very strict financial organization. They don't give loans without telling you how, without bending your hand. They don't give loan without bending your hand. I'm telling you, they are one of the worst people to owe money. So if you owe them money, quickly pay, because they will ask you to reform this, to devalue your currency. In fact, this currency issue we are suffering today in Nigeria is the IMF that caused it. And it's these loans that we took. That's it. IMF is just like a cult, a ritual. You give something to collect something. So it's a very big kudos, because it affects all of us. As long as you're a Nigerian, this loan affects you. This loan affects you. Yes, and we are all in this country together. It is worthy for applause. For identifying this particular IMF loan and deciding to pay it off. That is a smart move, because IMF loan, That was what brought Nigeria to where it is today during Babangida now. Have you forgotten? That's why we are here. From 1980s that we started collecting this loan. 1980s. That is it. That is it. And since then, we have been collecting, devaluing our currency, and brought us to our knees. Today, we are on our knees because of this IMF loan. Dragged us to the mud. In fact, please, anybody that wants to rule Nigeria should sign agreement with Nigerian people that we will never collect money from IMF. Give them pen to sign. Take pen, sign. I will never collect IMF loan from World Bank. Yes, Chief Justice that is swearing anybody will sign. Both state governors, both federal government, both presidents will sign. I will never collect IMF loan. That is the criteria for becoming Nigerian president. We must have that law. IMF has done us something. No, they don't do us something. That's all I have for you today. I have been your host, Chinedu. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. Till I see you in the next video. Peace.